Hello everyone! Welcome back to Ponderosa North for the love of Bonanza. Bonanza? Bonanza? Why the heck did they call it Bonanza? Well, that's what I used to ask myself when I was 10. Why didn't they call it the Cartwrights or the Ponderosa or the Little Joe Show? Well, it started its run in 1959, and exactly 100 years prior to that, the Comstock Lode was struck in Virginia City and vicinity, Nevada. It was the richest silver strike in U.S. history. So I'm just going to go over a very basic overview of the Comstock and the Comstock Lode, a little bit of history. Silver was struck on the eastern slope of Mount Davidson in Virginia City. Here's sort of a period picture of the area. You can see it's very mountainous. And there's some dispute as to who got the first strike. Some say it was the Grosch brothers, but alas, it was this fella, Henry T.P. Comstock, who struck silver and staked his claim, and thus the Comstock Lode was born. It not to be confused with the 1849 gold rush in California. Completely different strike. Thus the name, the 49ers. No, this was in 1859 that it was struck. And it generated immense fortunes. And it led to the economic growth of Nevada and of San Francisco, the flow of monies through San Francisco out into the world. There were 6 bonanzas. The Orpheus Bonanza hauled in 70,000 tons of silver. There was the Gould and Curry Bonanza, the Savage Bonanza, the Collier Potosi Bonanza, the Gold Hill Bonanza, and the Crown Point Belcher Bonanza. But not only were there great fortunes to be had, there was technology that was developed during that time. Many lives were lost. There was, look at these guys down in the mines, just picking away hot, dangerous work. A lot of cave-ins, and as a matter of fact, 37 men were killed in a fire 800 feet down. So they developed, Philip Dieditzheimer, who was a Dutchman, I believe, out of San Francisco. He developed what was called square set timbering, and it was sort of a honeycomb shape that they would build under the ground, and it was far safer. It saved a lot of lives. Here's Adam showing Haas how it all worked. Of course, he was very interested in it because of his engineering and architectural background. So I'm just going to tell you a bit of the statistics of the tonnage and the monies that came out of this strike. Oh, and I also want to mention there's another technology called the washoe process that came out of this this strike. So from 1860 to 1880, 6,971,641 tons of ore was hauled out of those mountains, Mount Davidson. In gold, they did find gold as well. There was $14 million in gold. And in silver, there was $21 million in silver. Now, to put that into perspective, in today's money, the amount of gold that came out of Virginia City was $356,246,250 worth of gold. And on the silver side, it was $534,384,375. So, needless to say, Virginia City became a boom town. Before the strike, it was a city of about 2,000 people, and then the population swelled to 25,000 residents. It was a dangerous, rough town. Mostly men, very little women. It was very very rough. I mean, on Bonanza, they were always breaking out into fights. And it was rough. It was a tough town. Here's some pictures of it during its boom time. There's another one here. Lots of people, lots of fighting, lots of claim disputes and things like that. Here's Virginia City today. I've been there several times. It's a lovely little place to visit, hard to get to, which I'll talk about in a future episode. The 2020 census says there is 787 people living in Virginia City now. Consider what it was 100 years ago, of over 25,000 people. So on Bonanza, they do broach the subject of the Comstock Lode in several episodes, starting with Mr. Henry Comstock, played by Jack Carson here. You can also see more about it in the saga of Annie O'Toole, which is a delightful episode, the Phillips Dieditzheimer story, and the Thunderhead Swindle. So there is lots more information about the Comstock Lode online and anywhere, library that you want to go to if you're interested in history like I am. Dig into it. It goes into the whole rock formations and how deep they went and how long the veins were, and more information on the 6 bonanzas that occurred. So that's it. That's why Bonanza was called Bonanza, the Comstock Lode in Virginia City of 1859. We'll see you next time on Ponderosa North for the love of Bonanza. Bye for now.